The Congress Legislature Party meeting, which was held today, 3rd August 2021, discussed items of the agenda related to interstate border issues between Meghalaya and Assam, especially after the recent incident in Yongkhuli. The gathering also discussed upon the sudden rise of COVID cases in the state. Addressing the media after the meeting, the CLP leader, Dr. MUKUL SANGMA, claimed that on the ongoing interstate border dispute, the Congress, during its tenure, had taken the initiative to compile and document the demarcated border areas between Meghalaya and Assam. He said the job of the current government is to follow up with the said compilation and start the negotiation process through bilateral talks with the Assam government. He also added that the negotiation should be based on the interest of the people residing in the border areas, for they are the ones facing the conflicts.
Very clear. We are not going to be influenced by people's opinion. We will be guided by what is considered as a decision which is capable of protecting the interests of our people and a decision which is acceptable to the people. We only represent people's desire and wishes, and we stand firmly with the people. Therefore, what is acceptable to the people is what we are going to stand by. Our stand and our responsibility to protect the interests of our people or not. We'll have to go by that. We should not be guided by any individual opinion, but what is acceptable to the people, we will be guided by that.
Meanwhile, speaking about the sudden rise of COVID cases in the state, Dr. Mukul expressed his concern about the situation and blamed the government of the day in not righteously performing its duty. Citing an example, he reminded that during the recent MDC elections, Chief Minister CONRAD was seen conducting political meetings in GARO Hills, where a large number of people had attended the same without maintaining the protocol set by the State Health Department. Further, he added that he is disappointed with the insensitive attitude of the government towards the grim situation. While speaking about the sensitization of the vaccination drive, he said the government has again failed on this front since it has been witnessed that people do not have proper information about the COVID vaccine, thereby prompting a majority of them to shun away from the process.
Things are not the way they should be. We are deeply concerned about the failure of the government in responding to this challenge of dealing with the pandemic. What has happened now? The virus has spread to the interior, into the rural areas. There is complete abandonment of the protocol required to be followed by the government. The various measures which are required to be put in place by the government in the rural areas to contain the pandemic, to save lives, and to dislocate the chain of transmission, and to the extent possible to prevent the possibility of another new mutant emerging, new variant emerging. You cannot rule out emerging of new variant from any part of the country, any part of the world. But the way the lack of focus and lack of priority of this government has left the pandemic to shape its own way, or giving the virus a free right of way. Virus is going everywhere. They have given complete right of way to the virus. If I have a meeting in one place, hundreds of people will converge. Is it the time for me to have a meeting like that? Public meeting? So friends, we must lead by example. We want to prevail upon people to agree to do something together. And if you don't lead by example, you have a big rock show during election. rock show. You're campaigning or you're showing a rock show. You look at that William Nagar election campaign of Mr. Conrad Sangma, the Chief Minister, during MGC election. Was it an election campaign or some other festival?